Our local oil industry could have tough new rules under a bill proposed by Congresswoman Lois. She's going after the drilling practice known as fracking. News Channel 3 senior reporter John Palmentary joins us live. And John, this could stop some offshore oil production.
And we're overlooking the Santa Barbara Channel where that oil production is taking place. And the high-pressure fracking that concerns Congresswoman Lois Capps needs more analysis, she tells us, under a bill that she is proposing. And while these studies take place, she believes that certain oil industry drilling practices should get what she calls a timeout.
Our beaches and our wildlife were devastated, as well as our local economy.
Looking over the Santa Barbara Channel and worried about an oil spill similar to a devastating accident here in 1969, Congresswoman Lois Capps wants new rules on oil and gas production, specifically on hydraulic fracturing or fracking. That's a high-pressure process to get to new petroleum supplies and bring them to the surface. Even though it's been used in one form or another for years, there are unanswered questions.
We know very little about onshore fracking, but even less about offshore fracking that has been happening in our Santa Barbara Channel with virtually no oversight for many years.
Capps has introduced legislation to find out more about fracking, the chemicals used, the discharges, and the impacts. An environmental attorney says many permits for this type of exploration have been issued, but possibly without enough scrutiny.
The environmental stakes are high. Much of the fracking and acidizing that's been done off of California has occurred right here in the Santa Barbara Channel.
The oil industry says it has to meet very strict environmental rules on the state and federal levels in order to get permits to do drilling in these nearshore waters. Legislators are not saying anything illegal's been done, but they do want more regulations, rules, and oversight to catch up with some of the newest technology being used in production. The industry continues to say there's also no evidence that fracking has harmed the state's environment or its drinking water supply. Drilling in federal waters more than 3 miles out also raises state concerns.
But those waters then come into shore with the waves, and they do impact what happens here.
It should come to a stop in a moratorium fashion while these studies are occurring.
And State Senator Hannah Beth Jackson also made it clear that this is not a, quote, drill, baby, drill state, she said. Reporting live from Shoreline Park above the Santa Barbara Channel this evening, John Palmentary, News Channel 3.